We call this meeting of the Arundel Planning Board to order. Today is January 7th. It's 7 p.m. and we are in the town meeting room. I'll start with a roll call.
Jay Cutler, Southern Maine Planning and Development Commission.
Mike Kane.
Susan Senate.
James Lowry.
Paul Green.
Paul again.
Susan Roth.
Rich Ganong, I'm the chair.
Rich, I don't think
We
the
can't,
microphone.
we can't hear you, sir.
You could hear me or you could,
not.
you
No,
could
we
not
can't,
hear me.
'cause It's just a little closer to you, maybe.
Oh. See if I can figure out where I put the minutes from the meetings. If not,
Right here. You want to use this?
you. We have on the agenda today, approval of the minutes for December 6th, 2022. We have space for public comment. We have a public hearing on Solari self-storage site plan review. Under pending applications, we have Solari self-storage. And under new applications, DuBois Automobile Salvage Conditional Use Renewal. We will then have some other business, town planners report, and there is an executive session scheduled. Any changes that anyone sees that we should make to the agenda? I need a motion.
Motion to approve the agenda is written. Second.
Motion made by Paul Green, seconded by Tom McGinnis, second, to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It is unanimous. Approval of the minutes for December 6th.
Move we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Motion was made by Paul Green, seconded by Susan Sinnet to approve the minutes of December 6th as written. No other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. Public comment. This is that time in the meeting where if you have something that you would like to discuss that is not on the agenda, now's the time to bring it up. Seeing nobody jumping to get to the microphone, we will move on to the next section. Public hearing. Solari self-storage. I'll call this site plan. I'll call this public hearing open. It's 7:02. Yeah. Brandon Solari is proposing site development at 2492 Portland Road, tax map 12, lots 11 and 12 in the BI district to include an existing property maintenance business and create 4 self-storage buildings. Along with this, the applicant is proposing to also include a 75 by 60 warehouse building used by his existing property maintenance business. Brandon Solari is the owner applicant. Jason Haskell, PE of DM Roma Consulting Engineers is the applicant's agent. Take it away, boss. Well, this is a public hearing. If you might want to explain to them what it is that you're doing.
Jason Haskell, DM Roma Consulting Engineers.
I don't think so.
There we go. So what Mr. Solari is planning to do is to take his property that he's currently running his property maintenance company out of and convert it partially into a self-storage facility and also to enhance his current property to something more of a commercial development with a shop warehouse type building. He's also proposing to keep the existing house where it is. It is going to be served by a septic system because the new shop building is going to have a warehouse, a restroom in it. And then there's also the water connection that we included for the additional sink and toilets. we have received approval from the Maine DEP for both a stormwater permit and for a wetland mitigation permit, or a wetland fill permit. It was somewhere around 9,100 square feet, and we went through, got those permits. So at this point, we're just here working through everyone with the board, and I guess leave it at that for right now.
Anybody in the public have any comments or questions for the applicant? I guess not. In that case, at 7:04, I will close the public hearing and the board will now discuss what's going on. I understand there's some revised plans that were sent down.
So yes, Mr. Chairman, you should have in front of you, some of the revised plans that, Mr. Haskell had prepared and submitted to you the other day. You of course did your sidewalk, so you're somewhat familiar with the property. One of the modifications is that there is now a property line to the north of the storage facility and south of the warehouse that separate the two parcels. That's because of the curb opening issue, the main DOT. DOT chose to limit the northern part of the property to one curb opening rather than the two that are there now. So the way to solve that issue was to put a split the lot in two. No subdivision is occurring, it's just a simple lot split. The other issue that they have addressed is after using the turning templates and meeting with the fire chief, there was a concern about being able to get fire trucks around the buildings, and they have widened those openings a little bit and have satisfied the chief. I believe you should have a memo in front of you as well that indicates from the chief that he's satisfied with that circulation.
To the chair, if I remember correctly, was there also a concern for where the snow would go?
There was discussion about where the snow would go. There was also a concern about the setback against the rear line.
Yep, so some of the since the planning board meeting, we have taken into account some of your comments, and then from the planning board meeting, and then also at the site walk, just some things that we talked about to address the concern about the rear property line and snow being plowed off the back side of it. And to actually increase the security on the facility. They have, Mr. Solari has elected to fence the outside of the self-storage facility. And to address, we do have a location for snow storage, which is to the south of the larger building. What it is there was an area that we got permitted as being a cleared area that was not part of the wetland that we could provide for snow storage. And what we did is instead of continuing the fence along the edge of pavement like we were before, we actually pushed it out so that they would have a chance to pile snow there. And actually talking with Mr. Solari about what he intends to do once it does get to a certain point, because the fire chief did have concerns about if the snow did get to be a problem with access around the facility, then Mr. Solari has said that he would remove the snow from the facility and dispose of it based off of all the local regulations wherever he typically takes it for his property maintenance company. So in addition to some of that, I did want to have a point of clarification that was kind of misrepresented at the last meeting. Was obviously right now we have the self-storage facility, which is lot 1. That's totally enclosed in lot 1. And then we have lot 2, which includes the property maintenance business, which he's currently working out of his house with. And so it's an existing residential structure, which in the BI zone is considered a non-conforming use. So what he does want to do is still be able to, because he lives there now, right now. So what he wants to do is maintain the residence in the house. And all the contractor yard use would be out of the shop warehouse building, which does have a little office in it. So that's where he would be conducting his business, but he would also like to keep the residential use on the property, since it is an existing non-conforming use of record. So what we did do is in working, to backtrack a little bit. So in the last meeting, we were talking about that we still needed DOT approval for the driveways. So one of the driveway connections did have to get disconnected, which actually provided an opportunity to provide employee and residential parking. So where that other entrance was, we're now providing 7 parking spaces, 2 for the residential use and then 5 for the contractor yard, which actually he has only 4 employees right now, so that it's 1 extra based off of the town's regulations. So that's one of the improvements that actually kind of happened from losing that 1 curb cut. So as Lee J said, we did meet with Chief Beaulieu, and we went over kind of the fire safety, the maneuvering, like Lee J had said, that we did. He thought it was tight, which in reality it kind of is, but it's more based off of the shape of the lot. It's a long, narrow lot with, we're within 10 feet of the back property line with the edge of pavement right now. So it's, it's really close, and we wanted to make sure that any vehicle that can come off the Route 1 would have some a place to get off of the road before they can put their keypad, their number in to get into the gate. But what we did do is, with steepening the rear slope, we were able to get another foot between the 2 buildings, another 6 inches on either side of the drive aisle. And after talking with the fire chief, we actually went out and set up cones and to replicate that turning movement. And they actually took the fire truck out that they were concerned about, and they were able to make the turn with a couple feet clear in both directions. So that was one of the reasons why he kind of considered that this would be acceptable and the way it was designed. He also talked about that none of the buildings would need to be sprinkled, at least under his regulation. And then also we did talk about the fire hydrant and the fact that it's located across Route 1. He said that it's within the distance that he needs with the amount of hose that they carry, and that he had no concerns of stopping traffic if need be. And he found that the hydrant where it was acceptable for what they need. So trying to think, kind of jumped around a little bit from what I was thinking, but during the site walk, we did talk about the landscaping out there, that there is the southern the southern portion of the self-storage would keep this existing row of trees and kind of shrub vegetation. This area is actually off the property, so he wouldn't be able to remove this vegetation even if he wanted to. So that is actually going to remain the same. On the frontage, I should just brought up the landscape plan. We did add some additional screening in through here because of removing the extra drive aisle. It did give us opportunity to add some more. These are arborvitaes, so something that's going to grow tall and relatively quick. And then around the parking lot area, we're also breaking that up with some shade trees and some shrubs. Pretty much anywhere that, because during the site walk there is quite a bit of rock out there, that to find natural soil out there that you can plant in could be difficult. But everywhere that we have a berm that's being built up for one of the detention ponds, the stormwater ponds, that's where we're trying to maximize the vegetation, the buildable area for the vegetation, that we can have some type of natural soils out there. But we did increase the number of plantings than from what was originally there. I'm also here, Mr. Solari is here with me tonight, along with Greg Patterson with Patco Construction. They're going to be doing all the buildings on the site. So we're here to answer any questions.
Can you show me the property line on that map, the rear property line?
What's the red line right here?
And what's the distance back on that?
That's about 10, 11 feet, something like that.
It's supposed to be 15.
That's to the, along the road frontage.
I believe that's from the property line to the setback on that building.
Is the,
I know that there was a 15-foot landscaped
well, set
buffer in the front along Route 1.
the eyes on the setback from the building. is One thing, but I don't believe there's a setback requirement from the people.
Yeah, the building's 26 feet, 27 feet back from the property line, but the pavement's not.
Yeah, no, if it's far enough, as long as it's the 15 feet back, that's fine. And that was my question. Is how far from the property line is it?
The pavement or the building?
I believe,
Setbacks are from building.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The
the building itself is about 27 feet back.
okay, then there's no.
Perfect.
I was looking at the map and
I
I'm
was like,
like,
wait a minute here.
it just, it didn't.
This has been a long project.
Okay,
A concern with on sheet L1 F, a note stating what you said about this being a mixed growth buffer remain.
Yes.
I don't know if you can complete that note on plan. But it's not real property to claim.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, if you'd prefer, we can. We can call.
I can hear you.
Can we
so-
turn it lower?
Oh,
Can't
it's,
hear that.
we're, there,
Still can't hear you, Doug.
still, is that not on?
But he didn't-
There we go. All right, how about now? Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, so with the note is saying that the mixed growth buffer will remain. It's mostly on off property, so it's a note, they can't claim that something will remain on someone else's property.
Okay, so, if that's going to be removed, if this gets approved tonight, we are meeting next Tuesday, it's our next planning board meeting, because of the holidays and everything. So you can revise the plans accordingly, get them signed next Tuesday. Get to that point.
That note's on the landscaping plan. I don't know if you signed that.
Well,
I mean, it's definitely something that can go in the construction documents.
Okay. well,
Or I can
something-
get you something updated.
If there's nothing else in the way, that could be a condition that you make the change and we'll sign the plans once that's removed.
Perfect.
There might be other issues that others have.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other issue I have is with the snow removal, we have excess. We mentioned if there's excess snow not to be able to fit in that area, that it would be removed. Is there any documentation of that? Anything in the notes stating that?
It can definitely be added. Yeah, we could probably add that. Yeah, we could probably add that to the site plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be a wise move with the other conditions that would go on the plan. Would be that add a condition. Again, for your discussion purposes, but you know, if circulation becomes difficult during the winter months due to snow,
Yeah,
the snow be removed from the site in order to maintain
and
public safety and travel.
that'd be good. And then also if it could be in conformance with the BOCA standards, they have that on snow removal?
No,
That, okay,
no.
okay. All right, well, just a simple note.
Yep, definitely.
Does the planning board have any other questions?
Just looking at Lee J's notes about a blasting plan. Is there a blasting plan if you need it?
It's,
Yeah.
it's part of the conditions of approval.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there
Definitely
isn't
have
one,
blast,
then that's
yeah.
answered my question. There currently isn't one. It's a condition of approval, but there currently isn't one.
right, but there's part of the condition.
Yep.
Just that one required that it was done prior to any work being done.
Okay.
You have anything, Susan?
I haven't been here, so I'm going to abstain. from
Paul?
Discussion.
Any questions?
No, you
Jamie?
everything that we had at the board.
No,
Susan,
Nope, had the snow one answered.
Marty?
Thank you.
I need a motion to approve that. Let me read the notice of decision. The application was first heard by the planning board on December of 2021 at the sketch level. Once the planning board provided feedback, the applicant made decision changes and submitted the application to the Army DEP and Army Corps of Engineers for state and federal permitting. Once the applicant obtains those permits, the submission to the Arundel Planning Board was made. That submission date was November of 2022. The board found the application complete in December of 2022 and held a public hearing in January of 2023. All site plan review applications shall be evaluated and approved with conditions or denied based on the following findings of fact. The proposed project conforms to all standards of the zoning district and meets or exceeds performance standards specified in sections 5, 9, and 10 of this ordinance. All these performance standards have been met. The proposed project has received all of the applicable federal and state permits. The proposed project does not unreasonably impact public safety and fire protection and will not create a financial burden for the town of Arundel in the provision of emergency services and law enforcement to the project site and the neighborhood. The proposed project will not have an adverse impact upon the quality of surface or groundwater resources. The applicant has provided the appropriate septic system design to protect from any issues with groundwater in the region. The project provides adequate stormwater management facilities to produce no additional peak runoff from the site during a 25-year storm event and will not have an undue impact on municipal stormwater facilities or downstream properties. The applicant has provided an extensive stormwater design and analysis, which has been reviewed and approved by the Maine DEP. The proposed project will not have an adverse on-site and off-site impact upon existing vehicular and pedestrian circulation systems within the community or neighborhood. This application has been reviewed by the Maine DOT and issued a drive opening permit issued based on the proposed identified locations. In providing that permit, Maine DOT has rendered the opening safe and within the state aid highway. The proposed project will not have an adverse impact upon environmental quality, critical wildlife habitats, marine resources, important cultural resources, or visual quality of the neighborhood, surrounding environs, or the community. This site is adjacent to US Route 1 and will not have any adverse impacts to the above issues. The proposed project will not produce noise, odors, dust, debris, glare, solar obstruction, or other nuisances that will adversely impact the quality of life of surrounding parcels. The main aspect of this project is self-storage and should not have any negative impacts to the above standards. The proposed project will not have a negative fiscal impact on municipal government. This project does not require any municipal support. Based on the above findings and conclusions, the Arundel Planning Board hereby approves the site plan review and conditional use request with the following conditions. Per Article 10, Section 10.7, the applicant must submit a performance guarantee acceptable to the Planning Department prior to the commencement of any site activity associated with this approval. Number two, if blasting on this site is required, a blasting plan shall be submitted to the town for review prior to the start of any work. Number three, compliance with all written materials submitted as part of this application. And there was a fourth one, was there not, Tom?
Yes, if snow becomes inhibiting to, public safety vehicular circulation during the winter months, the snow must be removed from the property.
Okay,
And we will add that to this. Again, I'm here tomorrow morning for a meeting. I will have Ann clean that up page for approval. You can sign tonight because there's no changes to that. And you can pick that up tomorrow.
okay. Was there,
That little minor thing of removing that note for the buffer.
Yep, on the landscape plan.
Yeah. okay, so we need a motion one way or the other.
I move we approve as read with those conditions.
Motion by Tom McGinn to approve as read with conditions added, seconded by Paul Green. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It, 6-1, there's one abstention.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Borrow your pen. Thank you. You can sign and pass them on down, and that way Levy can get it and patch it, everything tomorrow.
This doesn't have. Extra condition.
No, because this
Ann
is
is
the
gonna
sign,
add it.
the page is just, that's it, there's nothing.
Blank page.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we can sign that and give it to Ann, and they can come by and pick it up.
We're gonna believe. Yeah.
Next up, okay. Next item on the agenda. Du Bois Automobile Salvage Conditional Use Renewal, a proposed application to renew a conditional use permit to continue operation of an existing 85,000 square foot plus or minus automobile salvage area on a 3.6 acres site located at 2 Irving Road, tax map 19 lot 6 in the R4 district. Cynthia Dubois is trustee of the Randrick Trust,
Okay, he's reading.
is the property owner and applicant along with Randy and Ricky Dubois and Saul Fetter. Do you have a presentation you want to make to us?
No, guys.
Okay. We need to schedule a site walk.
Correct, yes, I apologize, you don't have a memo on this project because it is a renewal of an existing license. And so I assume what you're going to need to do is schedule a site walk and visit the site before you reapprove it.
Yep. Pretty much go up, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be and nothing has changed. I would suggest that we do this on a Saturday, since it's dark 30 when we all get home from work. And it can either be this Saturday or next Saturday. Although, well. Yeah, I don't know if you're on, are you?
I don't think there's time to be able to advertise a public hearing for next Tuesday.
Oh, okay, so we would have to do it on the 21st?
No, I don't think, are you planning on having a third meeting this month?
No, I'm talking about doing a site walk.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking in your head.
You know, have the site walk the 21st to have it on the next meeting.
Yeah,
We
okay.
have-
So we can do the site walk on the 21st and have the meeting on the first meeting in February.
So I don't want to throw water on this, but I will.
Okay, go
This
ahead.
weekend's supposed to be nice and warm, but the 21st.
You don't have time to
maybe knee deep in snow.
Yeah, I mean,
Hell.
We can't get it advertised in time. That's
Site walk?
that's
The
the.
sidewalk.
Sidewalk is, we just need to post that.
Oh, okay, then, yeah, we can do it this Saturday.
Make a motion, we do the sidewalk this Saturday. Can you guys support that?
How many people can go Saturday? Maybe we should talk about that
We
before
we need to have 4 people
Yeah.
that are available to go, and I will not be one of them. I have a prior meeting at 9 o'clock.
So do I.
I can go. Tom, Marty,
I'm looking.
no? Oh, we're back to the 20th.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, we only need 3 for the site walk. Yeah, because we had that problem. So we've said we only need 3 for a site walk.
Yeah.
So
Do we have?
do we have 3 people? Okay.
Yeah,
should be-
I
okay.
can do it. The
Mo-
three of us.
Then a motion has been made to have the meeting, have the site walk on this coming Saturday, the 14th. At what time is good for you guys?
9 o'clock, 9:30. Paul,
What works for you guys?
what works for you guys?
Earlier rather than.
Okay,
9:00.
6?
9:30?
No, 9 o'clock.
West Coast.
What are we looking at?
9 o'clock. It's
9
up,
o'clock?
right?
Okay,
Consensus.
this
9
coming
o'clock?
Saturday,
You
the
guys-
14th at 9 a.m.
These guys are up to 4. There, I'm good.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? It is unanimous. They'll all be out there to see you on Saturday.
Saturday, 4 o'clock. See you guys.
Don't forget to turn off the video.
Oh, I'm going to stop it completely. Okay,
We don't need this anymore, right?
at this time, I need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Hold
No, hold it, hold it, hold it.
It's when I was here.
Do we have to-
I'm not ready to executive session, but I want to make sure.
Susan Roth moved that we move to executive session.
Tom seconded. I have a question, point of order. Do we have to adjourn?
No, we don't adjourn. We just go into executive session and then we come back
A
out.
lot of executive session, then you adjourn, unless you have other business.
Okay,
Now.
yep. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It is unanimous.
Make sure you turn the camera off and
Recording.